Right. First of all, before I start, I would like to tell you that I'm playing Blood of the Enemy Major. Blood of the Enemy Major, and I'm playing a Condensed Life Force Miner. Why I'm playing Condensed Life Force Miner is because I'm testing currently to see what is the impact of the private target of that essence. So there's a 2 to 3% of my overall comes from the miner, but then there is the chance of me getting 5% increased damage on the top of that, and then that can further enhance my overall. So that's something to take into consideration. So obviously going into the first pack, I know that my guys are gonna go pull triple pack in the beginning, right? So what does triple pack mean in the beginning? It's most likely lust. So I want to make sure before I start Freehold, I always start with close to 90 to 100 milestone. That's really important. It allows you to put one free earthquake that's gonna deal probably around 3 to 400k overall. Just based on the pure damage of that earthquake. Maybe less, maybe more, depends if you have a Blood of the Enemy. Anyway, so let's jump into the action. I'm gonna mute myself all the time. You're gonna see me talking, but you're not gonna hear the comms on my teammates, and you're not gonna be able to hear my own personal comms. So I'm just gonna explain it for everything. Alright, let's begin here. So one key sin. So look at my eyes now. I'm sticking to the targets. There's 3 packs, 1, 2, 3, right? And as a shaman, you have to prioritize one target. So it's bolstering weak. So you need to make sure you actually do kill the guys equally. So you don't bolster one target, right? So what you want to focus in this specifically, these 3 packs, is this guy Enforcer, because he has the highest HP out of everything. And then you want to focus also on the Water Emissary, because it deals a lot of damage to the tank. So if you want safety, focus Water Emissary. If you want to have damage and speed, you focus that Iron Enforcer, Iron Tide Enforcer. Good. So the action begins is me precasting Stormkeeper. Very important. Before you start to engage any pack, you have a 15 seconds to react. So once you cast your Stormkeeper, you already have 15 seconds to play around. So and casting this prematurely allows this Stormkeeper to go on cooldown, and therefore I'm gonna have it sooner. So give an example of if you have 1 minute cooldown of Stormkeeper and you cast it and you use these 2 charges within 15 seconds, you're gonna have actual from 1 minute to 45 seconds or 50 seconds cooldown of Stormkeeper, which is really useful as a shaman. That's something to min-max as a shaman. Alright, let's begin. So first thing first, what I'm doing here is I precast Lava Burst. The reason why I'm doing that is because you don't wanna burst too high in the beginning, because your tank needs time to collect aggro. So the Rogue is tricksing your tank, and he collects aggro meanwhile, right? So what I wanna do is I wanna get a Master of the Elements proc right now, just to enhance my free Earthquake. So this is the rotation. I'm gonna cast Lava Burst right now, right? Casting Lava Burst into free Earthquake that I have prematurely stacked with my Maelstrom. Here you go. Then I have already precasted Stormkeeper. I'm gonna use my trinket, which is the fish one, Nautilus. If you don't have the trinket, that's completely fine. I just have that because I don't have anything better at the moment. Okay? So I'm gonna cast that. I already have, so using one more stack of my Stormkeeper, and I leave one stack to play around. So I already have 2 earthquakes in. As you can see, like 1. I did 2 earthquakes. I did Blood of the Enemy. And now I'm gonna do Meteor from the Elemental. I'm gonna put 1 more Earthquake. I'm gonna use 1 more Stormkeeper charge and 1 more Earthquake. That's 4 Earthquakes in total. Look at my burst now, 350k. That's how you burst as a shaman. Now I'm gonna play around my Master of the Element procs. Pretty normal rotation. You keep Flame Shocks on a target, 3-4 targets. In a large pack, you wanna have as much Flame Shocks as possible, because every Flame Shock is 3 Maelstrom per second if you have your Fire Elemental up, correct? So once you have that, your Fire Elemental is going to generate 3 Maelstrom per second. Having 4 Flame Shocks or 3 Flame Shocks multiplied by 3 Maelstrom, this is like passively 12 to 15 Maelstrom per second, right? So what does that allow you to do? It allows you to have a more procs of Lava Burst. More procs of Lava Burst means more mobility of your shaman. So you can move left and right, dodge abilities like this one on the ground. not take any damage, and at the same time DPS pretty high. As you can see, my burst out DPS a rogue and a DH at the same time. So that's pretty good, right? Let's jump into the action now. Standard abilities, as you can see, I only move when I have proc, otherwise I don't move. Casting my Earthquakes. This is pretty normal, nothing to talk about here. Chain Lightning into Lava Burst plus Earthquake. As you can see. Now you wanna snipe the highest HP targets. As a Shaman, you are known to have a prior damage. So what prior damage means, you having one main target that you want to focus on and put all of your procs of Lava Burst into him. So in this case, it's Crack Shot and the Enforcer. So I'm focusing those. Okay, pretty normal. You killing this through. Okay, nothing to talk about here. Okay, now see, once they separate and start to run left and right, I start to lose DPS, because you only gain DPS if they are stuck together. Okay, so pretty normal. So as you can see, within 1 minute of the beginning of the dungeon, we already have 16%, and it's been only 1 minute, and I have both of my trinkets, as you can see here. The trinket is on, and the Stormkeeper is on. Can you see it clearly? Yep. Trinket and Stormkeeper are on already. They're already off cooldown. So that's really good. Okay, let's see now what I'm gonna do. So watch now what I'm gonna do. Oops, okay, he dies now because he ninja pose. Well, that's unfortunate. Now I'm just gonna risk Bob. Bob is gonna risk my tank. You can skip this one. You don't need to see this. That's obviously a fail. Hold on. Okay. So, very important. You need to watch now. So what I'm doing here, again, you have to wait at least 1 to 2 seconds until your tank gathers the aggro. In this case, I only set up my damage before I explode with it. So I have one prior target, which is my set focus. That's the emissary. The emissary is my prior target. Why I'm putting emissary is because enforcers, they already hit a lot, and these mastiffs, they slow your tank, so he won't be able to kite, and we won't be able to stun for him. We won't be able to shock, to thunderstorm, to push, to typhoon, or to vortex my tank. So he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. As you can see, he has no cooldowns right now, right? He only have avatar popped up, and the only defensive he has at the moment is his shout, and obviously there's the iron bark. Okay, and we have a small darkness here. Okay, let's begin. So what I'm doing right now is obviously precast. So first of all, pot, very important, pot. Then I precast Lava Burst into Flame Shock, Insta Trinket, Stormkeeper right now. Okay, I use Earth Elemental here is because I have nowhere else to use that Earth Elemental. So I have to use it either here or just keep it for damage. And it's gonna be useful to the tank to survive a couple of seconds extra, to provide him that breathing window for him to recuperate from the attacks of these monsters or mobs or whatever you want to call it. So Earth Elemental here is a huge utility that helps the tank. It's like it's mini bark, you know. It's something to taunt off the mobs and help him breathe a bit. Okay. One Earthquake. Blood of the enemy, another Stormkeeper, another Earthquake. Mini burst. That's how I call it. Mini burst consists of so what I call mini burst is you have 0 Maelstrom, right? Or actually you have like 20. Okay, let's say you have 20 on Maelstrom. Let me wipe it. You have 20 Maelstrom. Mini burst I assume is having 20 Maelstrom and having a Stormkeeper up. Once you have the Stormkeeper, you use one charge, you get to 100 Maelstrom, right? You put the Earthquake, you pull Blood of the enemy, then you put another Stormkeeper in, then after the Stormkeeper, you just cast one Lava Burst, and you're gonna have one more Earthquake. So 3 Earthquakes in total if you have just Stormkeeper. This combined with Blood of the enemy allows you to have insane amount of burst for no cooldowns whatsoever. That's why Shaman is one of the best range classes, because he gives you a burst that you don't need to have cooldowns for, right? So let's continue, boys. Hello, Fatey. Okay. So the key here, the key for your DPS is kind of to predict where your tank is gonna kite, right? So you need to know where he's kiting from. As you can see, he's jumped left and right. He's thrown left and right, first of all. And you have to know where he's gonna go, right? If you don't want to lose too much damage, then you have to know where he's gonna go. This only comes with practice. Practice and practice. Otherwise, you just have to feel the game. I'm saving my Fire Elemental here, my second pot, and my Stormkeeper probably for the boss, because boss hits really hard in the beginning. Although it's still fortified, but then 19 fortified feels like probably 25. It probably feels like 25 last season. So that's something to look for, right? So we're still in the very beginning of the dungeon world. We already discussed like the ground basis of how to play Shaman, how to mini burst. Nice, thank you for the host, buddy. Hope you had a good keys. Hope you gain some score. Okay, so first thing first, once the boss comes here, the first thing you want to do right now is cast Unbridled Fury Potions. You always want to have these pots for bosses, always. I always have a flat potion of intellect for big packs. Very rarely I have the proximity potion, and for single target, obviously, I already said thank you. What do you mean? We're just testing some padding, and it's nice to just at 19 Freehold. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to show you guys, how to like the ground base of Mythic Plus. That's like a mini series I started today, but it's good that you did the two chest. We did 21. We did 21 Atao earlier today, and it seems really easy. This week actually is really easy, to be honest. You can definitely push some good keys. Pretty sure you can time like 22s and 23s for sure. Like, okay, 23 maybe not. Okay, maybe you can actually. Yeah, maybe you can to 23. Anyway, let's begin. So single target, always precast your Stormkeeper, and then you cast your pot afterwards. So the combo is Stormkeeper, even if you engage the boss 5 seconds before you cast this shit, then you cast your pot, and then you open Lava Burst plus Flame Shock, plus 1 stack of Stormkeeper. As you can see right now, look how I burst. Flame Shock, I'm gonna go to target. Fire Elemental, again, 1 proc, Stormkeeper. Lava Burst, into Lightning Bolt, into... BAM! Earth Shock. And from here on, it's pretty simple, single target rotation as a Shaman. Like, all of you should know this if you're looking at this video, this stream. It is very basic, and it's just a very, very basic rotation, how to play Shaman right now. Although I'm going to show you afterwards some more sophisticated bursts when it comes to, for example, Shadow of Zoo bursting and like so on. I'm going to show you afterwards. So me as arranged, so there's two strats. The first one is get out of the ring and you don't get bothered by bird, by anything else. Also, I forgot to mention something very, very important. This might not apply to many of you. This is more for a high keys boys, but I want to show you something. It's really important where you face the boss, right? So once we face the boss, if you face the boss right here, the bird is gonna come. The bird is gonna come from here to here, right? That will not allow your guys to stay here, because sometimes this bird can go from here to here or from here to here. It's really uncomfortable. You want to face the boss exactly at this spot. Once you face the boss at this spot, right? Once you face the boss at this spot, it will allow the bird to go from here to here all the time. So these guys are free to do whatever they want. They can stick to this position like forever. Unless the healer doesn't know how to bait. Usually, if the bird ends up this way, healer has to go right here, take the pull, then go back in his position. That's his job, right? So it's very important for you guys to know the decision behind it. Anyway, let's continue. I'm gonna get out of the ring right now. I always move with GCD fillers. I never move like this. I never move left and right without using any abilities. In this case, I'm using Frost Shock just to fill the GCD gap. That applies for Raid, for Mythic Plus, and for PvP, and for pretty much anything else you do in WoW. Regardless of what class you play, you wanna have GCD filler always. Okay. So pretty simple single target rotation. There's nothing here to discuss. You use your second pot here, Unbridled Fury again, and let's move on. Okay, so once the boss is dead, I'm gonna wait until here. Boss is dying right now. Okay, fuck. Wait, what? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, boss is dead. So now there's a couple of options. The first option, the most common option, is not to play the horse on a bridge. The horse on a bridge is a solo mob that is a waste of time. You don't have to play it. Usually if you don't have a shroud, the rogue pulls it to the left side and you just vanish. Right? Pretty simple, nothing too complicated, pretty straightforward. Now going to the packs after the bridge, you have a couple of options. The first option, the most simple one, is to stop this emissary and your group to go from here to the right. But you have only a couple of seconds to react. As you can see, the cage lasts only for 3 seconds. So if you're behind, you will not be able to make it. All of you have to be on the same page and you have to be ready to go. Another thing how to do it is wait for the rogue, couple of seconds. He's gonna come and sap it. The sap works for 8 to 9 seconds, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The cage is only for 3. So as you can see, we're gonna end up pulling this pack right now. Yep, we're gonna pull this pack. And now we decide, we either gonna play it or we're gonna die. So then we decide, okay, so if you're gonna die, then it's not really worth, because, you know, we're just wasting right now time. So we're just gonna play it. I'm gonna die now, before people realize, okay, let's play it. I health spotted, because I didn't know if you're gonna play. And my team is shouting, okay, let's play it, right? So what I'm doing, insta-tank, and I'm using here my cooldowns because I'm not aware if you're gonna play something afterwards. So pretty simple rotation. I'm casting my Stormkeeper, I use my trinket afterwards. I'm gonna combine my Meteor with Blood of the Enemy proc, as you can see right now. So 1 Earthquake, actually I had to, 2 Earthquakes here, 1 more Stormkeeper, 1 more Earthquake. You already have triple Earthquake into Blood of the Enemy. And as you can see, from 0 you go to hero with just Stormkeeper and Blood of the Enemy. That's the magic of Shaman. No cooldowns, you can burst for Giga High. That's something I really like. Burst classes. Although the higher the key, the less relevant your damage becomes to be. It's more like a team comp and pool wise. But that's another thing to talk about later. We're gonna kill the 3 mobs pretty actually quickly. Now we have to go downstairs. There's as you can see from here, there's an enchanted emissary right here. Hold on, right here. So we have to decide how are you gonna pull. Obviously, you can't really burst this emissary because it's gonna reflect the damage and you're gonna die. So you have to play a bit more careful. So what I'm gonna do right now is, as you can see, my big cooldown is coming up. Right, actually, it's halfway here. I wanna use my Stormkeeper pretty much on cooldown and keep it only for the big packs. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna use my Stormkeeper. Usually, hold on. If I have kept my Stormkeeper for this pack, maybe I could have higher impact than that. But what I decided to do right now is, because I know after this pack I'm gonna pull really big pack, so I want to dump my cooldowns here as fast as possible so they can get ready for later on. You think it's worth to delay Blood of the Enemy for Stormkeeper? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It really depends what you're gonna pull next. If you're gonna pull like 10 targets, yes. If you're gonna pull like 2 targets, no. Just use on cooldown. It really depends. You have to know in advance what you're gonna pull. So I'm gonna end up using my Stormkeeper right now. At least I should. Well, I guess I'm not using it. Here you go, I use it now. That's a bit like 5 seconds too late. I guess this could be manageable. As you can see, Shaman really struggles on 3 to 4 target. Like, you really struggle on that if you don't have any cooldowns. We're gonna kill that. That's pretty easy. Nothing too complicated. Straight up. Tank and spunk. Okay, let's move a bit here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I do with this enchanted emissary. So once these guys are dead, now my job here, instantly set focus to my interior target, and I'm gonna do now chain lighting to bounce off this enchanted emissary, and I'm gonna try to damage it right now. As you can see, I'm gonna put Earthquake right here, so the Earthquake can knock off this guy and at the same time damage the pack. Look where my Earthquakes are. A bit more to the right side, so whenever he comes close to us, he's gonna get knocked off, as you can see. Look, he's getting... Here is the benchmark. Once he comes here, he's getting knocked off. That's something you can utilize a bit. Now we're gonna pull the yellows, and as you can see, I'm keeping my Stormkeeper. I'm not using it. My cooldown is coming up. Why? Because I know we're gonna pull big afterwards. Are you gonna rate this year in progress? Probably not. I'm gonna be focusing more on life keys, MDI, playing classic as well. So progress is something that I will not do unless my guild specifically asks me if I wanna play. Then obviously I'm gonna say yes, but that's not my main goal for now. Anyway, so the reason why we're not playing these Brian Scales is because they have different HP values than the rest of the mobs, and we're gonna bolster them. In bolstering, it's all about killing the mobs as fast as possible together. So you don't want to pull mobs with a different HP count. For example, these jugglers have around, let's say, 200k HP, right? The casters have only around 1.3k. 1.3k. So there's a 700k difference. And if the tank reflects the cast to them, there's even less difference than that. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna sap and cage the Brian Scales. That's a non-combat CCs. Sap and cage are the two CCs that are out of combat. This means you can tank the mobs close to them, and they will never be in combat unless you pull already in combat with the cage. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna play two packs. So we're gonna play this pack and the upper pack with Lust. Actually, we don't have Lust, so we're just gonna play with cooldowns. So look now what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come here, insta-pot it before I go in combat, and now I need to move. I need to move to this position, right? I need to move to this position, so I have to use my blood of the enemy. So what I'm doing right now is while I move there, I fuel my movement with GCDs. This being said, I'm gonna use now Flame Shock. I'm probably gonna squeeze a Trinket here, and I'm gonna probably play Frost Shock. Let's just check if I'm correct. Okay. Trinket is casting. Free Earthquake in. I'm gonna cast now my Stormkeeper, one charge. It blow the enemy probably. Yeah, here we go, that's the burst. As you can see, look at the burst now. 200k close. Yeah, close to 100k. Okay. Pretty simple. You keep a couple Flame Shocks on your target. As you can see, I have right now only one. I had two, but one went off. And I'm gonna reapply one shock. Here you go. Double Flame Shock on the targets. I wanna have triple right now, but the pack is gonna die too quickly for me to use that. One more Flame Shock incoming. I refreshed it. Here we go. One more triple Flame Shock right now. The higher the key, the more Flame Shock you're gonna pump. Now I see somebody broke that. So what happened here is my Demon Hunter, as you can see, used the cage, and he forgot he already caged this mob. So what's gonna happen now? I told them, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of that. So he goes there, but he cannot do anything, right? So I instantly turn and I hex the guy. As you can see, he's already hexed. I was turning here and I hexed the guy. So now I'm asking my druid, can you go and push it downstairs so it doesn't bolster? So what I'm gonna do now, he's going here, as you can see, pushing them downstairs, and my tank starts to kite here. The reason why he starts to kite here is because he doesn't have any space to move, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put one Earthquake to stop them down with the random knocks, and I'm gonna thunderstorm them away so they don't bolster. And I have already one high HP target I wanna kill. This Scrapper. Pretty solid rotation right here. Keeping two Flame Shocks, is using your procs, using your Earthquakes, nothing too complicated. I look like Pip Gurdiola. Bro, I'm the mastermind of Mythic Plus. I can make the most Pip player good player. Don't worry, boys. I got you. So just kill these guys. And now we need to use Lust. So on the fortified weeks, you wanna use your Lust on a trash, not the bosses, right? So we're gonna use now Lust is either on this one, because there is a water emissary there. Usually the water emissaries, they do have very high auto attack value. At least from what we have tested so far, it's really hard to tank two of those. We tested it and you can't really tank it. So they do hit a lot. You're using Blood of the Enemy and Vision? No, I'm using Blood of the Enemy Major and I'm using Condensed Life Force Minor at the moment. So let's see what I'm gonna do. I insta-pot it. Again, I always do that. Insta-pot, Lava Burst into Flame Shock. There you go. Come on. Flame Shock. Go. Let's go. He's going. I already lost like 10 seconds of my pot. I use Lust, Insta Trinket. I'm gonna use now Chain Lightning into Stormkeeper, into Free Earthquake, into Blood of the Enemy. Here you go. Blood of the Enemy now is going on. Go. Here we go. 1, 2 Earthquakes, Stormkeeper, Quadra Earthquake. They already did 150k burst again. I usually try to enhance my Stormkeepers with Master of the Elements. Sometimes, not very often, but if it does happen, it happens. I use my Earth Elemental here because I have nowhere else to use it, and I would like to help also my tank. I usually use my Earth Elementals on a packs with a Water Emissary because he hits a lot, and my pet tends to mitigate a lot of damage coming up from his auto attacks. So my pet can soak a lot more than any tank can soak. Give an example of that. If you guys remember, if you do play Shamans, the Shaman pet Earth Elemental, he did mitigate a lot of the reaping damage. So there was a reaping dot that the enemies were applying to you, and every second it used to tick, right? So this dot couldn't go on my pet. So my pet was the ideal tanking machine for this kind of stuff. So also he doesn't get that much spunked by the emissary. As you can see right now, 17k is the hit from the pet only. Obviously there are many more mobs here, and he's gonna die really quick, but at least he survived until these mobs are half HP. So I already gave my tank a breathing room to use his defensive cooldowns. So right now he hasn't popped any cooldowns whatsoever, only Avatar to keep the aggro, and now he has saved his defensive cooldowns after my pet is dead to collect the aggro and use them and just kill the pack and be safe. That's how you play. You play around your team. You don't care about anything else. You just have to make sure your tank doesn't die. You only deplete if you die, and my job here is to make my guys immortal. I want to make them safe. I'm here to crowd control, to interrupt, to knock back, to slow, stun, Earth Elemental, burst, anything they want me to do. It's all about the team play. It's like you know, guys, it's like Barcelona. You know, when you used to watch Barcelona football, there was a tactic called tiki-taka, right? You just pass the ball and you go. Here's the same shit, right? You just pass your responsibilities. You interrupt one target, the other guy interrupts one target, and then you synchronize your stuns, kicks, interrupts, knockbacks, whatever you want to call it, to make this thing works. It's all about playing together as a team. You know, you could be really strong as 5 individual players, but if you don't fit into a fist to punch these mobs, it will never work for you. So you need to swallow the ego of overalls. Like people nowadays tend to look more into overalls than the actual gameplay. You know, they're more fascinating by, oh, I did so much damage, but in fact I was so useless. I just did damage, did nothing else. That they forget to play the actual game. So pretty normal rotation, as you can see. Nothing too complicated. Again, I reached 60 miles storm. I cast my Stormkeeper, 1 Earthquake, Trinket. I'm gonna cast one more Earthquake, and I have my Blood of the Enemy on cooldown, so I won't be able to use it right now. So that's whatever. I came close to it, and I thought I had this cooldown on, but obviously I didn't. So I got a bit jebaited here. That's a minor mistake, probably like 1-2 seconds off DPSing. But that's on my end, because I forgot to use it. Mistakes happen all the time. Keeping 2 Flame Shocks right now on the targets. Recuperating Master. Something you should be aiming for. Man, I feel like my father in kindergarten. He was teaching me how to ride a bike. I feel the same way. Fucking weird champ. Anyway. So the reason why I use Blood of the Enemy here is because I know that it won't be that much useful on the bosses because I don't have any cooldowns, right? So I would rather use it here and help this pack die faster than keep it for the boss. Pretty much on cooldown, if you wanna say it this way. We're gonna kill this pack, always focus the high HP mob right now. This is the high HP right now. Here we go, the scrapper. I'm probably gonna start using some earth shocks on him. Right now, probably. Oh, he's dead. Always, very pro tip to any DPS. To any DPS. If you see between the eyes, that's an ability that rogues have, that's a stun. So between the eyes makes the target vulnerable to 10% additional damage taken. So if you see between the eyes on a target, you usually want to swap and DPS that target to burst it down. Give an example, there's 3 mobs here, one mob is stunned with between the eyes. Between the eyes enhance your damage by 10% for 6 seconds. That's a rogue ability. Most of you might not know it, most of you will know it. But if you see that, if you're really into min-maxing, you should switch to that target and insta DPS it. So you can nuke it faster. That's applies to get ninjas, yes, if it's talented. Absolutely agree. And Ali, you're already late, buddy. This is my tier, already late? What is that? Not serious enough. It's fine, dude. It's your first time being late. I'm gonna let you go this time. So, as a caster, especially on Eldora, you just wanna LOS the shots and not get hit by anything here. The reason why I don't wanna get hit by anything here is because I wanna help my healer pump more damage. So the more damage it pumps, the higher overall as a team we're gonna have, right? So if I just stay here, take all the shots, take the barrier buff and just DPS, I'm gonna be all the time in danger, right? So I wanna make sure my healer feels safe. That's the first thing. I wanna make sure he's comfy. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna LOS all the shots right here, so he can pump damage and heal the rest of the guys. Pretty simple. This is like a tank and spunk, right? One boss focus, one more target cleave with flame shock. You focus all of your dumping on Eldora always. You just want to kill Eldora first. Pretty simple. As you can see, always dodge all of your abilities always. Man, nothing here to watch. It's pretty simple fight. You're gonna go. We're gonna kill that boss. Nothing too fancy. It's repetitive. So we're gonna shroud now. Click the pick, and we're gonna play. So there's a animation time of 1 minute. 1 minute and 2 seconds is the animation time. So between this window, you can play one pack to fill up the gap, right? And you cannot play a right pack because there's a void emissary there, and there is not worth for you to pull it, right? So what I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna pull this pack, and you as a range, you wanna make sure you interrupt the farthest target away, so you can drag it to the pack and kill it faster. So I'm gonna insta kick the cast, right? So again, Stormkeeper into Flame Shock into Free Earthquake. Here you go, Free Earthquake right now. Blow up the enemy. Go, blow the enemy. Immediately Meteor after blow up the enemy, always, for the insta crit. Then one more Stormkeeper with the Earth Shock. Sorry, Earthquake. Then pretty straightforward. You know? That's what I call the mini burst. Stormkeeper plus blow up the enemy. Mini burst. Tank and spunk this one real quick. We kill this shit. Okay, so now this is the last important part I want to talk about. This is what I call the mastermind of being arranged. I'm gonna show you right now. Or the way we call it is we call it usually. Wait, what am I doing? This is the pinnacle of Shaman gameplay, boys. Hold on. We're gonna catch a pick. Usually, how we catch the pick is we count 3, 1, 2, 3, and always click at the same time. So this is what we did right now. So what you're gonna see right now is wait, hold on. Okay, well that's some yellows. Whatever. I die here. Wait, how did I die? Hold on a second. Oh, okay. I think my tank was, I think Rats was trolling me. Because I bursted them so hard, and he said CBA, I'm not gonna avatar. And I'm just gonna die right now. They're gonna let me die. Yep. It's fine. Okay. Very important what I do. I always flame shock the dummies, as you can see right now. Hold on. So a flame shock to the dummy provides you insta proc of lava surge. Insta proc of lava surge allows you to cast on that turtle one pretty much all the time, like machine. Okay, I'm gonna show you right now. I keep 2 lava shocks on these dummies so I can cast lava burst all the time. That's why I'm playing triple IG. As you can see, I move all the time, left and right, and I cast. I feel like a Legolas of WoW, but with lava shocks. You know, it's the same shit pretty much. As you can see, reapply your flame shocks. Stormkeeper, proc. Apply flame shock. Stormkeeper, flame shock, lava burst, lava. Yeah, here we go. Left and right. You pretty much do. Look, you have procs back to back. Watch. 1, 2, 3 seconds, no proc. 4. Okay, 4 seconds. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have it now. Here you go, 4. So every 4 seconds you have a proc. 1, 2, 3. Here you go, on 3 this time. So every 3 to 4 seconds you have stack to play around. Okay, so what you're gonna see right now is pretend that never happened. Hold on. What you're gonna see right now, pretend that never happened, okay? You haven't seen that. Well, this is just a dummy, but we're showing you right now what not to do. You know, many people attack the dummy for no reason. We're just showing you what not to do here. Don't take this out of context, okay? We're just playing around right now like a kid. What are you using to save your replays? I usually have a Twitch VODs, and I save those Twitch VODs on my monitor, and then I review them with this is Windows 10 Clipper, I think. Okay, so how am I gonna start this? I always cast as I said, Stormkeeper into Unbridled Fury potion. You're gonna use Flame Shock immediately because you already have a Lava Surge proc. You don't need to precast your Lava Burst. I'm gonna come close to the target. I'm gonna use 1 lava burst proc. I'm gonna use Blood of the Enemy right now. Hold on, Blood of the Enemy right now. Come on. Here we go. And now here's the tough decision. What are you gonna do? You already coupled Maelstrom. You already have a stack. You already have a double Stormkeeper. So what are you gonna do? So what I decided to do here is insta get off my Maelstrom as soon as possible. You always want to use your excessive amount of Maelstrom as fast as possible. You never want to couple Maelstrom. That's like no go, right? So I'm gonna use my Earth Shock, although it's not the most beneficial way to use your Blood of the Enemy with the Earth Shock, but I use it because I'm already capped. Blood of the Enemy rank 2 is still good. I think Iris rank 3 is better than Blood of the Enemy rank 2. But Blood of the Enemy rank 3 is really good. You should have it. You should farm it. Not that hard. Anyway, so then I'm gonna use my 1 Stormkeeper because I want to benefit out of this 5 seconds increase damage taken of this mob. I'm gonna cast Lava Burst proc into another Stormkeeper because I want to utilize my Stormkeeper with the Blood of the Enemy proc. As you can see, that's a no Lust opener. And I'm just gonna use my procs. Irrigation stream? Hell yeah. Do you wanna come and show you how to play this game? Although you've been playing this game with me for already like 7-8 years. I can teach you, no problem. 7:38. Hop on a board. Hop on the ship. Get on behind me. I'm the captain. Call me daddy. You're gonna be all good, my friend. Make sure to put your seats on. But as you can see right now, having 2 dummies flame shocked allows you to have so many procs. As you can see, my burst, look at that. I have sustained my burst for already close to 50 seconds on above 60k. They removed Priest from this expansion, haven't seen it. The thing is, Priests are not that great for Mythic Plus, so I mean, there's obviously some Priests around, but they're not that common anymore. So you can only see them in raids. Okay, having Flame Shock on targets, and just keep this in mind. I have no single target essences, I have no single target trinkets, and that's pretty much the two of the most powerful variables to play around. If you want to have higher single target, you should be focusing on changing trinkets around, such as having a lure or a shiver from first boss and the snake boss, the underwater boss, and then as a essences for pure single target, you want to have condensed life force as a main essence for pure single target, and then secondary you can play around the iris, you can play around what is it called, conflict strafe, the flat versatility, and pretty much that's like the two most single target I can think about right now on top of my head. So as a shaman, you just wanna play this way, the boss. You always stay on this position, always as a shaman, always on this position, and you wanna flame shock once, flame shock two, and have one of those on set focus. Because when you run from the shark from here or here, right? You wanna while you run, you wanna flame shock one of those targets so you can proc and move at the same time. You don't wanna lose DPS whatsoever. What do you think about Lure and Alchemy Stone? It's okay combo for I think it's fine, Julian. I think it's manageable combo to play around. Anyway, let's continue. So now the job of the healer is to take any sharks off me so I can DPS and have pretty much close to 100% uptime on the boss. That's what you want to do as a ranged. You don't want to kite the shark. You want the shark to be taken out of you. So this shark right now is so bugged and I'm getting really pissed right now, as you can see on my face, because this shark usually has lower movement speed, right? But on this attempt, the shark glitched. Once the shark glitched, it never gets unglitched unless you kill the boss. So look at now the shark. It's so fast. So as you can see, as a shaman on this boss, you can pretty much sustain around 55k single target. Can't see face move cam. Yeah, but the thing is, you're gonna see double of my face, right? So I don't want to see that. I just want to see my face right now. I want you to see my reaction at the live moment. Alchemy Stone 440 over Highborn Compendium. Pretty close in my opinion. Depends if you want to single target or AoE. I would suggest you to sim that and then see for yourself. If you ask my personal opinion, I'm gonna use Highborn Compendium for raids, and I'm gonna use Alchemy Stone for Mythic Plus. But also depends on your haste levels and if you have already over like 20 to 24 haste and stuff like this. It's a bit more complicated, but the best way to see it is just sim it. That's the most accurate way to see for yourself. Okay. Well, nothing here to explain. Pretty straightforward. Just bang the boss, sustain big single target, move left and right, touch the shark obviously, and this boss should be dead in a couple of seconds from now. Okay. Yep. This boss already dying. Let's move. So what we're gonna do now? Let me see if I want to talk about something else here. I don't think there's anything important here to talk about. This is pretty single. This is pretty. As you can see right now, on a 4 target without any preparation, I do a lot less than what I can do probably. But that's without any preparation, right? Look at my AoE right now. Not the greatest, right? Not a lot of preparation. But still okay, decent. Okay, let me just focus a bit more. This is kind of easy, nothing to talk about. Now we're gonna dead skip here, are we? We're just gonna shroud. Yeah, we're gonna shroud right now. Go to the boss. Okay. This is the final boss and the final piece of what I want to talk about today. Actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about after this. So on this boss, usually phase 1, I wanna use my cooldowns on phase 1, and I'm gonna have it for phase 3. If you don't have your cooldowns for phase 1 for the opener, don't use your cooldowns. Save your cooldowns up until boss hits 60%. so you can use last 60% benchmark with the cooldowns and just drop the boss as fast as possible. Why I'm saying that is because after 60%, the boss have a debuff to put 5 broadcasts on 5 of the target, so you would have much less uptime on a boss. And also, the boss has higher attack speed now, and it will attack your tank more often than what it usually attacks it, right? So that's something to think about it. As you can see right now, he already hit 60%, but I'm gonna use my cooldown prior. I don't know why I'm using it. That's a minor mistake of mine. I should have hold my cooldown for at least like 10 seconds. I have low haste, so I stick with high born, I guess. Thank you. You're welcome, my dude. I would recommend you to use that as well. So as you can see, I always keep my UI clean, and I don't have too many stuff going on my screen. So I always have my interrupt hours here, and the most basic weak hours for Shaman is this one. I can link you all my weak hours, add-ons, macros, all this kind of stuff, all this kind of jazz is on my Discord. If you wanna guys have them, !Discord, and you're gonna be able to extract all of this juice for you. It's available to everybody right now, so you can have those. So once we kill the boss, so after the boss reaches 30%, give or take, it increases your damage by 100%. So the boss takes 100% more damage. So I usually save my Stormkeeper for that phase just to pad. No, obviously if you wanna play for the team and have fun, you can do that. If you wanna complete the key in time, then you should not do that. As you can see, we were trolling here. We died twice and we still managed to do this dungeon within like 5 minutes under time, like 5 minutes 20 seconds under time on 19, which is pretty good, I would say. You can definitely. Okay, this is something that killed me today. As you can see right now, look. I'm gonna show you. Now tell me if you see something, okay? Look. Now look. He's gonna cast now. Where is it? The horseman. He's gonna cast. The skull is gonna cast right now, right? He's casting. Do you see anything below me, guys? Chat. Do you see anything below me right now? Any effect, any visual effect below me? Can you see something at the moment? Look again. Can you see something? I can zoom it if you want. Can I? No, I can't. That's the most amount of zoom I can do. You don't see anything below me, right? So neither do I. Look, I mean, first I thought I'm blind, right? But then I looked again and I could see nothing, absolutely nothing under me. And look what happens. Hold on. I'm gonna die out to the blue. Right? So I would assume never stay below this kind of object, so because they can mitigate the projection of these mobs. But I mean, you always know that this guy spawns pools under you. I mean, you know that, right? You know that. But then again, unconsciously you think, okay, there's nothing below me, then I should not move, right? But in my mind, I know that he always spawns under me. It always spawns under you. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Shella. It does. But then again, you know, I didn't see anything, although I forgot to move. That's completely my bad, if you ask me. But then again, nothing appeared on the screen, so that's why I didn't move. So that was the whole Freehold dungeon, and that's pretty much 101 how to play Shaman, you know, in high keys. As you can see, you can still be relevant in terms of DPS. Like, you're not super high, but like you are 5k away from your rogue, which is okay-ish as a benchmark as how much you should do. So I would assume 5k difference between you and a rogue is something to be okay with, right? And that's just my opinion. I think 55k is okay. If you remember today, I did not have much gear to play around, so definitely when I get more gear, I'm gonna be pumping more than that. You have to outplay the bugs. I mean, did you guys experience any bugs on Shark boss on the MDI practice? Because we did. The Shark was so glitched. Sometimes it was running like crazy left and right, and there's nothing we could do about it, you know. Just adapt to the glitches. Trying to improve my gameplay as a Shaman. Thanks for the help. You're welcome, my dude. The last thing I want to guys show you about is how to burst efficiently as a shaman. I'm gonna specifically show you a burst of me bursting the zoo. Hold on, where's the zoo? It's far ahead. Okay, we're gonna be right now to zoo. After this. Okay. So, how to burst efficiently as a shaman in 30 seconds, 101. You should save this and always remember it. It's the same way over and over again, and pretty much if you don't have much gear, you can probably burst like 100k if you rotate your spells correctly. So first thing what you want to do is you want to always precast your Stormkeeper before you engage combat. As you can see, my team hasn't put the zoo yet, right? But I did cast my Stormkeeper. Why I'm saying this is because the earlier you cast your Stormkeeper off, the earlier it will come off cooldown. So you kind of shave 5 to 6 seconds each time you use your Stormkeeper. And at the end, if you use your Stormkeeper 10 times, do the math, 10 times you use your Stormkeeper per dungeon, or like 11 times, right? Multiply this by, let's say, 5 seconds, you're gonna have, on average, every 10 Stormkeeper you use, you have one free, because you casted this one prior. It does make sense, right? It's something to min-max. I mean, if you're all about min-maxing and if you want to increase your DPS, that's something to consider doing it, right? And I've always advocated for this stuff. I never play the game casually. I always try to find the fastest way, or the most powerful way to play my class, and that's something to know, you know? It's a bit 6-head move. 5-head math? Hell yeah, my dude. You know, it's all about the min-max. Okay, let's just proceed. What I'm doing right now is to pre-pot. Then you want to cast your... As you can see, I start from 0 Maelstrom, right? 0 Maelstrom. I'm casting a free lava burst into flame shock to the target. And then what I'm going to do right now is, I've already casted my Stormkeeper. I'm going to walk through my target right now. Walk through my target. I'm going to hold my cooldowns. I'm going to hold my... I just casted my Fire Elemental because I want to feel the gap between me moving from here to here. It's 1 second. I don't wanna have any free seconds between any of my movement abilities or my cast. So I feel my GCDs with casting the Fire Elemental. I'm gonna come close to my target right now, as you can see. Coming here, I'm gonna use Blood of the Enemy, right? I'm gonna use Stormkeeper once with Meteor combined plus Trinket. I'm gonna use one Lava Burst with Flame Shot with the last stack of Stormkeeper, and as you can see right now, I'm holding 125. I picked 125. I'm gonna show you again. Hold on. 123, 125 is what I bursted with Lust, with correct usage of your cooldowns. That's what you should be bursting. And just remember this: I don't have any single target traits. Sorry, yes, I don't have any single target traits. I don't have single target essences, and I don't have a single target trinkets. Right now, currently, I'm using the Ashvane trinket, which is really bad for single target, and I'm using Alchemy Stone 440 because I don't have anything else to put there. And pretty much the power of Shaman comes that you can burst targets really fast. And the dangerous targets, as you can see, look at the difference between me and the DH. Even until the end, I'm pretty sure I hold a lot of my single target. I'm gonna probably finish at around 55k or like 50k, close to 50k. So this zoo is melting. This is what I do on zoos, on Void Emissaries, and that keep this in mind. I don't have good gear and I don't have good trinkets. I have shit trinkets. So once I start to get more gear rolling, I'm gonna destroy this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna finish zoo with 65, I think. 60k overall. 61. Okay, 61 I finished zoo. That's the final piece I wanted to show you guys. 101, how to burst as a shaman quickly and effectively. That's pretty much the tooltip. And you know, you don't need to overcomplicate the stuff. Pretty straightforward. Don't think too much about it. The fastest way to learn how to play is usually watch yourself. As you can see, look, I'm showing my trinkets right now. As you can see, Alchemy Stone, not the best, and then you have your Ashvane trinket, which is a bit more garbo. You know, it's fine for AoE, but for single target, it's actually really bad. 437 item level, not the best, not the worst. Your mastery is actually fine. My mastery is fine. My verse is too low. My haste is okay-ish. I think it's too high. I should have less haste. And then my crit is really good. Do you blood up the enemy before you cast your first Stormkeeper on AoE, or do you use it to cover more of the actual earthquake damage? I use it to cover more of my actual earthquake damage. I don't want to enhance my Stormkeeper, I want to enhance my earthquakes. So I usually want to have 1 or 2 earthquakes before I cast my blood of the enemy. At least that's how I combine it, and so far it works good for me. So far. Okay, well, pretty much that's what I want to talk to you today, guys. I don't know if you found this useful, any of you, but if you do found that useful, what I'm gonna do for the next week is I'm gonna have every 2 weeks I'm gonna pull a random VOD of any random dungeon that I'm gonna do throughout my Mythic Plus live pushing case, and then I'm gonna have a short discussion of what were my process behind it. Potentially, what I was thinking about it, maybe we could do every month. I'm gonna have a kind of a, I would say, having a different dungeons to talk about monthly, or like every 2 weeks now and then you guys get used to my playstyle, get used to what I do, and then obviously if you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. I'll always reply to anything you guys want to talk about. I'm always there pretty much, so if you do have anything else to ask, shoot me up. I always respond anyway. What enchants do you use for Mythic Plus since Earthquake is physical? It does really depend on your gear. You need to sim it before you ask anybody. There's no perfect answer for that. There's no perfect stats for that. You have to know for yourself, and you have to sim yourself to understand what do you actually need. Do I need more crit? Do I need more verse? Do I need more haste? You know, these questions are coming only after you sim yourself, right? So another thing you can add to your toolkit is you can use your Tremor Totem here for the deadly roll. Really good to do. As you can see, I insta Tremor here. I don't even realize the fear is on. And you dodged my question? Did I dodge it, Jasmine? You didn't say anything. I didn't hear you, man. Say again. Wait, Jasmine, did you? Oh yeah, I'll talk to you off stream after this. He's going Hammond Classic for the first 2. Oh yeah, I'm playing Classic for the first 2 weeks like Giga. I'm gonna be trying to push for World First Molten Core, and we'll see how it's gonna go. How do you see for Mythic Plus? Hey man, do you plan to play Classic like real Mythic Plus streamers? Much love, peep. This one. Okay, I see. Well, I don't know about real. I mean, what I plan for Classic is I'm gonna be competing for World First Molten Core, and I'm gonna try to get up to 60 as fast as possible with the guild. I have been running for already 3 years on private servers and stuff, and we have came together. Many big people are gonna be in that roster, so we're gonna definitely try to shoot up some rankings, try to compete with the big boys. I heard Metro are gonna try for World First Molten Core. Unsure how hardcore they're gonna go, and we'll see how it's gonna go. I really look forward for that, but that's like in 2 weeks time. For now, what we're gonna focus is this week live keys. Next week we're gonna focus on Cup 2 for MDI, and then afterwards comes MDI. Sorry, afterwards comes Classic, and then I have my exams for university. And after my exams of university, I'm gonna be focusing on Cup 3 as well. So that's the plan. So trying to play live keys with Shaman, then I'm gonna play MDI Cup 2 and Cup 3, then obviously Classic and stuff like this. I'm gonna try to mix everything together. How do you see for Mythic Plus? Just Dungeon Slice? No, I don't use Dungeon Slice. I don't recommend you to use that. Not that accurate. I don't like it myself. Usually how I sim it is I have a whole bunch of I mean, depends what you want to sim. How I sim for usually 45 weeks is I sim 4 to 5 targets on 1 minute, no lust, no pot as well, and then I try to make it as realistic as possible. That's pretty much what I do for simming. For single target, I sim differently. If you want to sim for 45 weeks, I sim single target for like 2-3 minutes. If you want to use Tyrannico, I sim 3 minutes to 4 minutes. I mean, really depends what kind of keys do you patchwork for single target. Yes, it does really depend what kind of keys do you run. If you run like 25 keys, 22 keys, obviously it does matter a lot. But if you run like 15 keys, then your timers would be different. For my keys, I usually sim myself 45 weeks on a single target, 2 to 3 minutes. If you run like 15 keys, 10 keys, you can steam 2 minutes or even less. And that's how I steam usually for Mythic Plus. Dungeon Slice, it's unreliable. And so far, I don't know, it's kind of not my cup of tea, you know. I've tested it, and I didn't find any particular pattern why I should trust it. And for me, I mean, it could be accurate, but maybe it's just me that thinks that, you know, it's not that good, you know. It's my own opinion. You don't have to follow what I do. It's just what I, you know, what you ask me what I do, so I just reply to your question. If you wanna use Dungeon Slice, go ahead. You know, it's up to you. But that's my personal opinion on. That's my personal take on Dungeon Slice. So, what do you guys think? Should I do this every two weeks or like every month? Every 2 weeks, every month, of any of the dungeons I decide to play. I mean, I'm gonna try to put some variety. For example, if I cover this week Freehold, then I want to cover in 2 weeks time something else. Let's say Shrine, or something harder than like Siege of Borderless and stuff like this. And I'm gonna be going through the dungeon, explaining why I do this. Not every week, every 2 weeks or every like month. I will see how I can do it. I mean, my schedule is really my schedule is really tight for now, guys. I just have a lot of things on my head going on, real life work, and you have exams from university. I need to study on that, and you know, I have I feel like every 2 weeks or like every month is kind of a good ground base of where I should start. So I think that's what I'm gonna do right now. Every 2 weeks, give or take, is what I'm gonna be focusing, or like every month. I mean, if you're on my Discord, I'm gonna always let you know before I do that, and you're gonna be able to tune in. I'm gonna be setting up a date in an hour, at least 4 to 5 days prior I do that, and I'm gonna try to bring a couple more people into my discussion. For example, I can bring my tank, talking about how he pulls, and then what goes through his mind. Something like a little podcast that I wanna go on and educate people of how to play Mythic Plus correctly. I'm not saying I'm a guru of Mythic Plus, but what I'm saying is I can show you what I usually do as a Shaman player. One more final thing I want to talk about, because many people asked me today on Discord, how did I remove the debuff of King's Rest? Now I'm going to ask you, chat. Look carefully, right? And then answer the question afterwards. Okay, I'm going to show you right now something. Okay, watch carefully now. Okay. Let's pass forward a bit. Okay. Want you to watch something. So the boss is gonna cast Axe on me. Okay. Look at me now. The Axe is on me. Okay. Now look for a second. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Should be now. Come on. Okay. Where did I do it? Come on. Okay. Can anyone explain me how did this happen? Look my debuff. Chat, look at my debuff right now. 10 seconds to expire. 9 seconds. 8 seconds disappear. What ability did I use as a shaman to remove that as a bleed? What did I use as a shaman? Does any of you know? What did I use? What did I use to remove that? Does any of you know? Right click? I wish it was a right key. It's not right click. I wish. Dwarf works, but unfortunately, as you can see, I'm a Tauren. I am a Tauren, right? I'm not a dwarf. Tremor? No.